Greetings, my Leos. We are rolling. I am here to do your November 2019 general love reading. This will be for Leo's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and/or Jupiter. I also read for the planet of Jupiter. Jupiter for masculine energies that you are seeking to attract in your love life, as Venus would represent the feminine. Trying to say Venus and feminine at the same time, and I came out with a Venus. So, anywho. Reading in a different part of the house today. Get a little bit more natural light. I really missed this table, so I'm getting back to this environment. Now, cross watchers, you are welcome to the video, of course. I will be reading from the perspective of the Leo, okay? Take the messages as they apply or resonate. Not only will these messages not be for everyone, but maybe only particular messages within this entire reading will be for you, okay? So just be mindful, keep your energetic field open to, to be honest with yourself about what is for you and what is not. If it is not, have other videos for your different signs that you can check out to see if they resonate based on your planetary alignments, okay? Now, if you are interested in booking a personal reading, I am taking readings currently, and I do have a special that is going on through December 1st, where you get $15 off of your first reading, either 15 minutes, half an hour, or an hour. I have my information in the description box below if you want to contact me about that. We can go over rates and so on and so forth. But I already do have the description of the types of readings that I do perform, so you can get a heads up on that. Now, what we have crowning here from the animal spirit is the lamb. Now, what's interesting about this reading is that it's a very calm energy that I'm intuiting from this card, okay? There's like an energy of just, what would be the word? Of just knowing, okay? There's a peace that you have attained, Leo. There's a stillness that you've maintained. It's almost as if many of you may have gotten your spirituality back. Many of you may have had just things that happened to you that brought you back to source, to where you understand that things are going to work out for you. Things are going to work out for your betterment, and you can trust and you can have faith in the universe, right? And in yourself. There are no more doubts. There's no more worrying. All that's going to begin to cease in November. May the Mercury retrograde cleanse that out for you. And I've been saying to quite a few people, and also in quite a few videos, that this isn't your typical retrograde, okay? Many people are realizing their blessings at this time, whereas their perception was they weren't before. And it's because you've learned the lessons that there were to learn. So now when things revisit, now when things come back, whether it's external or internal, you're handling it different, and it's allowing you to realize your level of ascension, okay? To realize that you're thinking about things differently, to realize that you're doing things differently, that you are just a better version of the same person. I'm not gonna say you're not the same. You are who you are, you will always be who you are, and that's somebody to be proud of, but you are a better version of that person here. So I have two tarot decks here that I'm gonna break down the rest of the reading with. We've got the Fountain Tarot here, and then my newest deck, which is easily becoming one of my favorites, Golden Tarot from Cat Black, okay? I'm gonna start leaving the decks that I use in the description box below so you guys can check those out. But definitely feel free to leave your comments if you are inquiring about any of the decks that I ever use. I will gladly tell you who they are so you can go get them yourself. Or gift them to another, or, whatever your intent may be. But for those of you, I think, I'm kind of intuiting, like, as it pertains to love, some of you have been very fearful, as far as, like, I don't even want to say fearful, you just, like, didn't know how you were going to move on or past the situation. This could also refer to, maybe losing a great love, I'm intuiting for some of you, and coming into an understanding that that's going to come back around, and that you have to give time and patience for things to come back around, as it comes down to individuals having to work on themselves, possibly separately, to therefore come together. Let's go ahead and go with some Golden Tarot here. Oh, okay, here we go. Got the Queen of Coins, the Eight of Coins, and the Nine of Wands. So yeah, many of you were really trying to figure out how you were going to move on from a situation, and you're finally seeing that it's happening. But even before the seeing, the reason that you are able to see is because the universe is saying, hey, if you can trust in me to help remove things from your life and know that you're going to be okay, then I'll begin to show you the physical manifestations of that. It takes faith first, right? And again, that's what you've been embodying. So it's likely been a period, Leo, where what you've been doing is focusing on self and your happiness, trying to rediscover what you're passionate about, okay? That's been helping. It's probably also been helping to talk to people who have been able to help you lessen those mental stressors or burdens. But regardless, I sense a lot of independence in these three cards here. Many of you probably just got back on your feet. If you had any type of monetary detriments happen with a past relationship, this person could have stolen money from you. This person could have just been the one that you supported, and you found that you were just kind of like giving everything you had to them in that way. But whatever it is, you are coming into this energy in November, standing on your own 2 feet again and being very self-sufficient and very selective and choosy with who you let in, okay? It takes a lot to work on ourselves sometimes, and that's why, you know, we have to be mindful of no matter what sign we are, no matter where it is in our chart, we always have different energies working through us, because there's a lot of earth energy that is working through you, okay? There's a heavy sense of earth energy with the Lamb, as well as the King of Coins and the Eight of Coins. And I think, you know, with that is going to come a level of discernment that you're going to have when it comes to moving forward, as far as like new love coming in, because I can definitely sense that that's on the horizon for you. Like almost, well, you know, sometimes like as readers, we get these quick emotions that hit us, and tears almost came to my eyes, because it's a sense of you becoming the happiest you've ever been with somebody else because of the work you've put in to become the badass motherfucker you were meant to be. Okay, the problem, if there's any problem that I can see from these 3 cards right here, however, is you know, you got to remember, just because, you know, I'm looking at the cards and trying to regather, like, you know, you got to put it together in your head, right? So I just want you to know, and I've said this for a few signs already too, mostly for October, is that when it comes to getting over someone and healing and becoming a new version of yourself, it's tremendous, it's wonderful, but you have to make sure that the way in which you do that affects everything else you do in a constructive way, right? So with that being said, when it comes to pursuing new relationships or getting involved with other people, if that is what you're seeking, you have to make sure that you getting over the situation isn't gonna have you look back, or not even look back, but look at any new situation coming in as potentially burdensome. You know what I'm saying? Discernment is going to be very, very, very important when you have love coming in. And it's very hard for a lot of us when we've regained our autonomy and our strength in self, because we were in a situation that was so just tough and taxing and trying, that, you know, we get this tunnel vision. Like, hey, this is what I need to do. Here's my game plan to get back to me. And we rigidly focus on that, okay? I am a Taurus sun with a Jupiter in Leo. So I understand the fixed nature of those aspects. Between, you know, us being fixed signs and also having my Jupiter in Leo. Like, I understand that. But at a certain point, where you get to chill out and unwind after going on that narrow path, right? As you expand and ascend in your consciousness, what you then do, what you then are advised to do is widen that scope a little bit so you can allow new things to come in. Does that make sense? You've put in all the work, like you focused as hard as you needed to, and you carried out your diligence. Now, what you have to do is open yourself back up so these new forms of creation can come in. And I think there's somebody who has been trying to work with you since you've gotten out of this past heartbreak, Leo, or if it's not currently occurring, it will be in the future later on here in the month of November, likely towards the end of it. If it isn't happening for you now, it'll likely be towards the end of the retrograde, honestly, if it's not happening for you now. That's just what I'm picking up on. But it's been very difficult because, and it's not to say that for any reason that you have been like hermit-like or unsure or questioning, it's not to say it's not valid. Just make sure it's coming from the right place and not too extreme, if that makes any sense. Like, as far as trust issues, for example, I feel like there's somebody that you might have your eye on, Leo, and that you really, really are into and that you really like, but for some reason this relationship can't take off the ground because of trust issues, because of not necessarily a fear of commitment, but a fear that the other person won't commit how you commit. Love as hard as you do. Be loyal how you will be, okay? And like I said, it's not like you're wrong in how you're thinking, because the realness of the world is people can be fucked up and people are going to sell you a story to get what they want. So you want to make sure that that's not the case for you. I understand that. But kind of moderate the cynicism a little bit to allow someone in. It's basically what I'm getting here. Is that you just... And that's up to you. That's still a fucking choice. Like, this is all advice on what could be done, and here's the outcome if you do said thing. But I'm gonna tell you, there's so many other avenues you could take to change and rearrange the direction of this story and still achieve happiness equal to this or greater, okay? So please take this, with as many grains necessary. I'm not gonna say with a grain of salt, as many grains necessary for you. But this is not saying this is what you should do, and if you don't, woe is you. None of that shit's gonna happen. But as far as the energy that's around you, you have an opportunity that is presenting itself. You could hold out, you could not. Yeah. This one, the Fool. We got the Fool on the board. Oh, okay. So, and then I'll just pull from the top of the deck, from whichever deck I feel, to fill in the rest of this reading here for y'all. Because this is the only oracle we're gonna do, so I'm not gonna sum it up with any oracle. However, we got the Fool card here with the Three of Swords. So yeah, you are having to literally make a decision. There's a decision here. Now, we have, individual cards that represent decisions, and then you have other cards, and especially combos, that can give you that same effect. And the Fool and the Three of Swords is definitely doing that. And one thing to note, especially with how it fell. Okay. Which way is the Fool moving? Away from the Three of Swords. So the decision comes from, or it comes down to basically allowing something new to again come in and manifest. Like, will you create room for this? Will you take a leap of faith and just trust that it's going to be different because you are different? We started this reading talking about how you are different. So the things that you do differently, the things that you think of that are different, and so on and so forth, is going to attract different things. And that's why this energy is coming into your life at this point. Okay? So are you willing and ready to move past the heartbreak and disappointment? I understand the trust issues, but But how do I put it? When it comes to disappointments, you have to realize that they will occur. They exist. Disappointments do exist. However, how you move beyond the disappointments will really change your life. Honestly. And I feel as though you're really, really leaning towards this new beginning, and that's what's so crazy for you. That's just what Spirit gave me to say. Because you are leaning towards this new decision, that's where much of the unsureness may come from. Now let's see something here. Hold on. Because I'm noticing I'm having to piece something together in this story from where I started to where I am now. Well, usually when this happens, it means something is missing. There's a key detail. Oh my God. Okay, so it's basically that classic, like, you're sure, but you're scared. You're scared because you know you're going to do it. You're going to take that leap of faith. Maybe you thought that this would come, that this would, I don't know, wouldn't come as soon as it did, or what have you. But there's a sense, an element of surprise here, for sure. Element of surprise. I'm going to sum it up with the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Cups. Okay. This is an opportunity to really change the karmic cycles of your love life here. And I see from the Queen of Cups to the Seven of Cups how much opens up for you. The possibilities that open up for you when you decide to love. Okay? Now see, because you're coming up here as both the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles energy is the energy that still partially is reserved and holding on to everything that she's worked for. But when it comes, and as the Queen of Cups is right on top of the Fool, it's literally Queen of Pentacles touching the Fool, touching the Queen of Cups, from the heavens to the earth, from idea to fruition, however you want to look at it. When you take that, it's almost like energy of the wands, or just energies of like the knights, like particularly the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Swords, where I think you may just be telling yourself that you just have to do it. You may be reaching out to someone. And again, these messages could be vice versa. You could just be reaching out to someone and telling them exactly how you feel, if you haven't before. And they're going to take it or they're going to fucking leave it. Or, you're really, because it's weird. I'm sensing some black egg energy, which is one of the spiritual cards, like outside of the elements, you get into the spiritual cards, which I guess in, a roundabout way could be considered like major arcana types. But the black egg energy talks about speaking your truth and just getting it all out there, because you're someone who's going to continue to move forward with nothing to hide, and you will always, like from this point on, nobody else will be able to knock you down, because you're going to make sure you can stand on your own 2 feet. However, you know that to get this clarity that you need to really to have all the security that you need in knowing that this relationship is going to be different, you realize you may just have to lay it all out there and say, hey, this is what it is, or this is what I've been through, with this Three of Swords energy expressing where you come from. So they don't just see it on your energy, read it on your face. Yeah, they know, they can intuit, but sometimes we have to make things very, 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 very clear. And I think from there, that's when things will take off, and you'll start to see that the possibilities are endless, and that this person is basically open to anything and everything that you want and that you need. Okay, now that's what I have for you. I look forward to doing your bonus. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go because we are at 20 minutes, Leo, and I also have to think about the title of your reading. I love y'all. See you soon.